Hey, this is Mustafa of Mustafa Talks Tech. Coming for you on this Sunday with a video on the subject of the struggle to learn something new. Um, Earlier this month, I started my software engineering course, also called coding, and so far it's been great, an amazing experience. Each time l- enter to do something new in the module, it's just an exciting and how each part stacks on each other and I learn something new. It's amazing. I love it. However, in the past 48 hours, I have hit a difficulty in learning a concept that it's kind of unnerving me a little bit. You know, I took a break away from it and came back and I did a lot better. And then, some more difficulty came and then I had to step back. So this weekend has been a struggle to say the least of me striving and then having to step back so I don't just drive myself crazy and really just trying to figure out this concept in my software engineering coding course. So I stepped away and just did some research, Googled, people who are in the same course of software engineering and just hearing about their experiences and their struggles. And from what I was able to gather, that this is a common occurrence, especially when you're starting new and you have little to no background in software engineering. You're basically trying to learn something new. It's like learning a new language or learning any other new skill. There's going to be a difficulty factor as you attempt to enter something unfamiliar. So, just reading these stories of others and hearing that, you know, most people who became proficient and great in software engineering or great coders or web developers, they all went through that struggle in the beginning where I can't get this, or maybe it's not meant to be, or maybe I'm not good enough, or I bit off more than what I can chew. So that was that knowledge was able to put things back into perspective, and I was able to just breathe, just say to myself, I got this, I'm gonna get this. It's just at this moment, I didn't get a particular concept. And then, the mind starts overacting and start talking to you and telling you all type of crazy stuff. And then you just become immobilized where you can't get it done. So I had to step back and I came back this morning and attempted to approach the same subject that was kind of tripping me up, and I found it a lot more clearer. I found myself able to like go through it and kind of get a little bit more clarity. I'm not saying I got it 100%, but I'm at least moving through it without any type of stress or pressure or just really wearing myself out mentally. So once I finish this recording, I'm going to go back into this my software engineering course, and you know what? I'm going in with the mind of a winner. I'm going to knock this out. I'm going to figure this out in the next 24 to 48 hours. Pass this module, move on to the next module, and keep this course going because I have to remind myself I've come so far. And I'm not going to allow me being tripped up on one thing to stop my show and stop me from moving forward. So this is just something that you can take in whatever you're striving to learn something new. As I advocate for people to going into tech, if you don't have a tech background or this is not familiar with you, you may face that struggle or that um, pain from trying to learn something new. But you have to understand and be patient with yourself. You have to fight off imposter syndrome. You have to just if you have to just take a step back from it, relax, and then once you come back in with a clear head, sometime that will allow you to see things with more clarity and work through those situations. Because in tech, often it's really about your problem solving skills. You know, there's a problem there, and with the tools given, the programming language in the case of coding, it allows you to solve problems. And in life there's always a problem, and sometimes problems overwhelm us, and and that's why sometimes we run from problems, we duck from problems, we shun situations that's in our face, we rather run from them. So it's the same thing when you enter into tech, there's problems to solve, but there are so many tools and so much knowledge out there that will allow you to meet and overcome the obstacle of what's presenting you in tech, or in my instance, coding right now. And a great friend that we have, is this modern technology. When I went to school 20 something years ago, the internet was still in its infancy. Over 20 something years ago, the internet was still in its infancy. Yahoo was a search engine, Google was just kind of becoming a thing. YouTube wasn't there. There was no social media. They had chat groups and stuff like that, but the information then compared to now, where when I trip or struggle on something educationally or in my knowledge, I can just go on, I can Google, I can find some groups of similar people who have gone through my course or going through my course, where I can link up and chat with them and ask them, what did you do in this situation? How would you overcome this? There are so many plethora of YouTube videos out there of people just dropping knowledge, information, strategies, techniques, showing you how to get through something. There are, social media where, billions of people get on there every day. And if you're going through it, somebody else that went through it. So you just have to find that person who's already gone through it and link up with them and learn from them and drink of their wisdom and knowledge. So, we live in an era where there's so much information right at our fingertips. And if we just would access that information, then the difficulty of striving to learn something new won't be as difficult, because there's so many tools out there. I mean, there are apps out there that can give you ways of overcoming things and easing your burden of, learning things and education and knowledge. It's just so much out there. So I just wanted to share that little story about myself, of my struggle to learn something new in tech and software engineering, sometimes coding, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna go back in it with a new set of eyes, with a refreshed mind, with a positive, and I'm gonna make this happen because hundreds of thousands